Here's to the ladies. Here's to the ladies. Here's to the ladies who brunch.
Welcome back, Divas. We're so happy to be here.
And I hope you guys are holding space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity. And
certainly.
Have you seen that? Well, I feel like we need to bring her in immediately because I need to ask her. Guys, let's just get started because I have to ask her about this iconic video.
We have, honestly, I'm so honored to have the most iconic guest I could ever imagine for the start of our season 3. The one, the only,
Caroline Bowman. Welcome to the
Ladies Who Brunch.
Hello.
And for those of y'all who don't know, I mean, if you don't know, get the fuck off this pod. But
yeah, everyone already knows.
Carolyn and I, oh my God, I can't talk.
Caroline
and I'm just so excited. Caroline and I.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I met. I was gonna say on Frozen, but actually we met when I was 15 years old at the Muni.
We did.
When I was a teenager.
We
and
did.
I have such a vivid memory of holding a flower wreath during the final wedding sequence and you coming out in your Sandy Dombrowski quick change.
Oh yeah, all shook
just
up.
All shook up.
Yeah.
Good musical.
So that's
it's
where
a
we first
great
met.
musical.
So fun. We had a Ferris wheel. It was
Although I just don't think Natalie would have come out as Sandy Dombrowski at the end.
Right.
I think she should have been she's a little bit more masculine, but
More tomboy.
but in love with what the heck was his
Chad.
Is Chad?
Chad.
Were you in that show in high school?
I was when I was in high school, but I was Dennis, the nerd.
Is that
he has a great song.
The best.
But I have to admit that when you had to remind me that you were a Muni kid because there was 100 people in the cast.
yeah, and I also was a toddler.
And you came up to me your first day of rehearsal and was like, I was in All Shook Up with you, and I was like, oh my God, I'm an asshole.
No, but the thing was,
There's 1,000 people
I
on
am
that stage.
so sorry.
I was so anxious starting Frozen, and I truly was thinking through. I was like, do I tell her? Do I not? And I was like,
Oh, I'm so
I
glad you
have to.
did.
But I was like, what would happen is if in 2 months you were like, what the hell? You never told me, and I was like, yeah, I didn't. So also, we talked about this
Yeah,
before.
that's crazy.
Get this: a year ago today, literally November 25th, was the day that I could not get the cape on you.
Wait, why do you remember that date?
Because the date that I was able to actually finally complete the act, and we'll get into what this entails on Frozen, was my birthday, which is tomorrow. So I really
happy
was
birthday.
thank you. None of the viewers said happy birthday to me, so I'm so sad. But literally, I was thinking through this week, and I was like, oh my God, yeah. 26 was when I remember being like, nailed it, finally got it on. For the listeners that don't know what this is, in Frozen, there's the huge coronation scene. I was a swing. So I had to play the Bishop of Arendelle, which essentially...
Tiny Bishop.
Legendary.
Tiny Bishop, and it looked like you were wearing your hand-me-down robe.
Hand-me-downs.
it was like the bishop, the main bishop,
the one who's raised
archbishop
you your whole life.
Was had to have a day off, and you were like
They're like
huge coronation.
Someone call the small one.
the intern, and they just threw robes on you that did not fit. But I have to tell you, you were a sassy bishop.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
the way you strutted across the stage.
You better.
And Elsa's behind you, conceal, don't feel, and I'm just watching your hips move back and forth. I'm like, fierce, go.
A dancer dances.
You get this gorgeous dress essentially, and I was like, how can you not? I got the note so many times, stillness, and I was like, but I have such a swoosh when I move.
I have to
so
swoosh.
Nice. But yeah, you have to put this cape on her in this beautiful moment, and we'll get into coronation because I need to nerd out about Elsa with you for hours.
I
but,
could do that.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But I was making my bishop debut. We had rehearsed it once before, but no one had ever fully explained to me how this cape, which had very specific magnets and clips, had to go
crazy.
Swinging is insane. It's just
Swinging is insane. We can get into that too, because now I'm a standby.
Right? Yes.
so you're and it's so much hurry up and wait, just go. And so when I tell you my hands were shaking, and everyone is singing this beautiful choral arrangement at you, and I remember turning around and being like, I didn't even get the cape on her, and I don't even know how she's gonna deal with this cape being on her.
But I got it on.
I know.
You turned around and I was like, oh, wait.
I know. I was so
She
confused.
fixed your problem.
Yes.
But what's so annoying is it's so specific, the choreography, to put those stupid clips on. How do you dressing somebody else is hard.
Well,
if you had to put it on yourself, you could probably do it.
right, but you're
Right.
and also you've had to have had costumes put on you in multiple Granditch Ashford shows.
Yeah.
Evita was
Crazy.
all just like costume changes on stage, I'm sure, which is just insane. We've been talking about your iconic Rainbow High video where you're literally getting dressed.
And like trusting but those girls were amazing.
I'm sure.
And Robin Masella, who joined our tour for a second, is in that Rainbow High video dressing me. She's
No
the one like
way.
No way.
doing my buttons. And I remember her saying she was nervous like the first time she did it too.
That's gay
scary.
canon in that video.
Because you're not just responsible for yourself, you're responsible for somebody else's show.
Right.
I always got worried about, he never got to see the show, but in First Time in Forever, the handmaidens have to throw this dress onto Anna, literally over her head, and then zip it up. And that, I was so grateful I never had to do
And
that.
it was certainly not foolproof.
No.
That did not go
That
well
takes
every
athleticism.
time.
And like, it's so much goes into those moments. It's so, and as the swings, you're like, I don't do this every night. This is so stressful to have to do just one swoop.
Right.
I love that you mentioned my sassy bishop because he certainly
My sassy bishop.
certainly was title of that, my sassy bishop.
I love that.
I think the bishop and Elsa were best friends.
They
Like,
were.
I think it was her only friend.
They go way back.
So of course you would be a sassy bishop. You're just like
Yeah.
my gay love that like came into the room.
Your gay best
And
friend.
like, you know, maybe Elsa was also a part of the community.
I mean, she's certainly a
course.
gay
I mean,
icon. Certainly
She's
is.
definitely a gay icon, but I do think her sexual scale tipped a certain way. But,
Yeah.
Right.
Or she was asexual.
I've
She was
always
kinda
kind of
like
thought
didn't-
that.
Right.
She
And I
didn't
mean-
really have any sexuality. It just didn't exist for her.
And I mean,
really.
now
love
let's
that.
we can just get into the frozen nitty gritty. But like, I feel like I've always thought that because everyone's always like, Elsa's gay, and I'm like, someone her whole life being told if she loves someone too deeply will cause pain towards them. I don't know if
Yeah,
those
if she had
feelings
any-
are coming up. Like,
sure.
at least
She had bigger fish to fry.
Absolutely.
Or to ice.
Like, yeah, she was like, she was fine taking care of herself.
Ice.
right? There's other things she's worried about, Diva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so should we talk about some Frozen stuff
Yeah,
while we're
yeah,
on it?
yeah. Follow your lead.
Amazing. I want to start with Dangerous to Dream because that
He
was
showed me this video recently. I haven't heard
I
that
did.
song before. Oh,
It's so pretty.
it's so pretty. It's so different from the other like numbers in that show too.
It is it stops the show in a way that not like, you know, whoa, hoot and holler stops the show, but it stops the tempo of where we've been going and just kind of like whoops for a second. To be there to watch you do that was a life-changing experience. I mean, truly the way you would drop into that character every single night. The most incredible experience is when you're on as a swing, you do all the different tracks for the equerry, which is the guy who has the pillow with the orb and scepter.
Mm-hmm.
And being on your knees while you are going through it during that scene and just being right there is, I mean, it was a masterclass every night. When did that number, what was your first experience with it? And then when did it kind of unlock for you, do you think? Was it immediate? Were you like, I got this number. I know who she is. I know what's going down.
Honestly, when I came back from the pandemic, my Elsa was more fully formed.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait, talk about like pre to post pandemic then.
I think pre-pandemic, I was so nervous and so worried about being something that everybody's expecting me to be, and I wasn't able to like be authentic to, I don't know, how I wanted to play her and
Yeah.
and how I sang her and all the things. I was nervous. I was like working for Disney, and it was a big tour, and so I had all those nerves like kind of running the show
Yeah.
instead of like really just diving into what I wanted to do. And then after the pandemic, I wanted this job back so bad
Yeah.
that I really wasn't going to let any of that stand in my way. Like I was ready to just like,
She sang Let It Go every day during the pandemic.
Really?
Like while we were off. Did I make that up? Or
I
did
didn't
feel
sing
like-
it every day,
But,
but
like, a
I
lot.
tried. I tried to keep it up. I did try to keep it up, and then as we started getting closer, I was like starting to train like my body
Right.
again and do my
Right.
you know, theater athlete stuff and get it back in my bones. But I psyched myself out like leading up to rehearsals, and I like couldn't sing Let It Go. I couldn't. I was like trying to sing it in the basement of my parents' house and just not singing it the way I want to sing it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was back in rehearsals with the whole group of people and like that magic, I was able to do it in the room. And then
Wow.
I was able to soar more after the pandemic. It was kind of a
Kind of
blessing
freeing.
in disguise.
That's what I was
sort
about to
of.
say, like a blessing in disguise.
One of my favorite things about your Let It Go, truly, and I got to watch the show. I watched the show every time I could, because if you told little Sammy that there was a Disney theatrical show happening like outside of his office essentially,
So
and I
cute.
was like sitting backstage, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? Go watch the live show.
Right.
And we build up to Let It Go, obviously, and to hear people's reaction when it starts, and they're obviously ready for it, and they start kind of singing along, and you're like, eye rolly, whatever. But then you have this magic trick where these literal children have to listen for the first time because they've actually never heard this song the way that you are performing it. And they truly they go from being like, we know this song, sing along kids, to like, we
leaning
actually
in.
don't know this song at all, and we don't know what it means, and we don't know.
It's also the magic of live theater too.
Yeah.
You can watch the movie a million times, but when you see like real people up there doing it,
Exactly.
it's a labor of love.
I think it might have been that like they realize oh my gosh, I'm watching the real Elsa.
Right.
And
And
you were that
so-
for so many kids. That's such a
And
special
so
experience.
it was like, oh, I'm singing along with the movie. Wait, I'm not singing along with the movie. I'm singing along. That's a real Elsa. She's really singing. She's really building an ice castle. Like,
Yeah.
right.
So
Well, and just the way you
yeah.
built that song was brilliant. Like it truly, it was. I mean, the whole. I've nerded out with him about your performance in that show nonstop because it was brilliant, and I'm so glad. I'm so sad New York didn't get to see it, but I'm so glad that all of North America got to see it because that's its own special thing. That's really cool. It was spectacular. I mean, a masterclass truly.
I mean, I wouldn't have been able to stay on that tour that long if I didn't love it.
Yeah.
And so I was able. I don't think I ever went out on that stage and didn't love what I did. Even
Yeah.
on a hard day, I was like. On a hard day, it was fun to find like the muscle memory. Like if I was really tired, I was like, let's just trust that my muscles know where to go, even on a tired day. And that was like a new, different challenge that I could, I had to come up with.
I've never
things.
gotten to ask you this.
Yeah.
In Dangerous to Dream, sorry to circle back, when people were bowing to you, because everyone kind of bows to the queen, says hello.
Madame.
You changed who you looked at every night.
Yeah.
What was your thought process on that?
I just wanted to never do the same thing. I just wanted to make it alive every day. So I was
Amazing.
like, I didn't like plan. I'm going to look left first. I'm going to look right first. Sometimes I would linger on somebody longer, depending on like how connected they were, or if they were leaving the show,
Yeah.
or like if their story. I wanted to like connect with their story one more time, or.
Did you ever? Were there ever days that you pulled inside yourself early and you were just like, I'm not going to take anyone in.
Yes.
You were just.
Yes, there were days like I don't know. I lost both my grandparents on the tour. Just like harder days when it was like hard because locking in with somebody is vulnerable.
Very, yeah.
And it also, so that's beautiful for the song because locking in with another human being and really connecting immediately makes you feel exposed and vulnerable. And it was easy for me to tap into the song and the way she felt. And so on days when I was like, oh my gosh, I can't keep a lid on my emotions. I can't dwell on,
What we've lost.
I can't
Right.
lean in
Yeah.
too. I
Yeah.
can't lean into people too much. So sometimes I just wouldn't really look at people. Sometimes I would like look through them or
Sure.
Right.
at some place on their face or something like because I knew I wouldn't be able to control. I wouldn't be able to put a cap on it.
Right.
Because that was a beautiful thing about like I found a way to like be emotional and not let it tip over the edge too far, or I wouldn't be able to come back.
Right. Because you had a
It's like-
whole rest of the show to do. Right.
Right.
That's interesting because you've played two roles because Elphaba and Elsa are kind of these, like, you have to do it a certain way. It's been there for 20 years for Wicked, for Elsa, Disney, like kind of you have to hone in on it. So that's interesting. I wonder if you have any like that moment for Elphaba or for other places in Elsa's arc that you were able to like find moments that you can make your own or different every night instead of having to do kind of like go through the motions, you know? Are there moments in Wicked, were there moments in Frozen other than that you were able to kind of explore different things, or did you have to kind of stick to a
No, I mean, there's a formula, right?
Right.
For both of those, for Elphaba and Elsa. But specifically for Elsa, because I lived with her for so long, they really started trusting me with her, and I stopped. I like was kind of allowed to explore
right?
And
within
also-
the realm. I respect the piece. I respect
Right.
the role and the box that was created. So I'm not gonna like. I'm not gonna
Right.
stray too
Color
far,
outside the
but-
line.
How did your Elsa shift with your changes in Anna? Because you had
Oh, yeah.
you had 2 full-time ones, correct? That you
Yeah.
or
I
3
two
technically with Mackenzie.
Yeah, I guess because she was there for 3 weeks, so I wouldn't say she was full time. She was kind of but yeah, I had a lot of Annas. Yeah, I mean, it depended on their energy. Like
Sure.
all of them had different energy. All of them, it was fun. That was fun to figure out. But yeah, Lauren was the longest, and I was able to like grow the most with her.
Yeah, the way you two also led the company was, I mean, again, like I felt like I was a sponge during the show, and I was just like, watch everything, watch everybody. And that in particular, you were such a sturdy, like, come back, bow to Caroline, lock in, and Lauren was like making fart jokes in the back with all of us. And it was which is what the show's about. So it works, you know, but it was so beautiful to watch. Now I have a question. We were talking about this because you know me, you haven't met him, and we always consider ourselves the Alphaba and Glinda. Who do you think is who?
Yeah, who do you think?
Oh,
Off of first impressions.
I think you're Alpha, but you're Glinda.
Yes!
That's 10 points.
Nailed it.
Okay, good. You've seen the movie, right? You saw it with
I
the...
did.
You went to that big premiere. What was that like? Were you
what
losing
is
it?
Yeah. Did you
I
die?
need to see it again.
Yeah.
Because seeing it it was a beautiful thing. It was an overwhelming night.
I'm sure.
Okay, let me just set this up for you though. I was very overstimulated. So on that Monday, we did the Wicked movie. I'm going to work backwards. On that Monday, we did the Wicked movie. On that Friday before that Monday, I had my Norma Desmond puddin'. Earlier that week, they'd announced Smash.
Oh my God.
And we had this Sunset opening. So it was like I had a week of like so much overstimulation. I was like, so Sunday, now I'll go in order. Sunday, Sunset opening. Monday, Smash announcement. Then Thursday I had rehearsal. Friday I had my Norma Desmond put in. Monday I was at the Wicked movie premiere with all of Wicked
the whole
New York City.
Was it like a big old college reunion? Was everyone just like...
Yeah, it was like a ton of Alphabas, a ton of Glindas, because they wanted us to take a picture with Cynthia and Ariana. Cynthia Rio and Ariana Grande. I feel weird saying their
No,
just their
we
first-
all know
No.
who we're talking about.
No.
first
please.
name basis.
You better.
And it was like all the producers, and it was the Broadway cast, and it was costumers, and
Wow.
like it was a filled theater, and it was really special to be a part of. But I got there, and I was already like I needed to serve my introvert so bad by that point.
Which is so alpha.
I love
which
that,
is
serve my
hilarious.
introvert.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was so like over my extrovert and I was like, so I just like got there and was like, huh.
Right.
Like I was getting texts from the Wicked press team, like, where was I? And I was in an Uber. I'm like, I'm gonna get there at 6:45. Doesn't the movie start at 7? And between all that, I had missed an email from the Wicked press teams talking about pictures that they wanted to do, and I guess they were low on Alphabas, and they wanted.
They're working hard. They're
The Alphabas-
tired.
The Alphabas didn't want to come.
The Glindas are all like, we're there.
Yes,
Have so
the
much
Glindas were
fun.
very much there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
I was
God.
like, oh, I'll be there at 6:45. Wait, doesn't the movie start at 7? Like, I'm coming to see the movie.
You're like, where are you?
So I get there and I get down to the basement and we take pictures, and I just kind of like kept it really chill the whole night. And then we had applause after like everything that happened. But I really wanted to watch the movie, and I really don't like people talking when I'm watching a movie.
Oh, I hate
and,
that.
And so it was tough. Like it was, it's like a pet peeve.
Yeah.
Which is like, I need to get over myself. I was at the Wicked premiere with.
No, but still.
But you have to see it again. And
we were like that too, because all of
Yeah.
our friends went to go with us, and we were like, no.
We were like, I said, because
It's a business trip.
everyone was being like,
Correct.
we're gonna, we said yellow legal pads, like we're here for
pen and
work.
paper, honey.
Yeah.
We're and we locked in. I'm seeing it again today in 4D with my friends who hadn't seen it, and
What
they
does 4D mean?
were chairs move,
Stop.
Oh.
You're
Water.
gonna defy gravity.
Water.
water, bubbles, strobe lights,
Stop.
everything. I saw Little Mermaid.
It's a
in
cinematic
4D.
experience.
That's like a Disney World
It's like
ride.
Disney World.
That's
But my
amazing.
friends haven't seen it yet, and they were like, "We want to go see it in 4D." And I was like, "The first time you see this movie, you want the chairs to be moving around. I think we should like
That's a
watch
choice.
it. Watch the movie."
I loved. I mean, I don't want to give any spoils away.
We already
Can
we've done a
talk about it?
spoiler review.
Oh,
We've already
Okay.
done
we can totally talk about
yeah.
it. If they haven't seen it yet,
So-
that's their problem.
Yeah.
So my thing was, a long time ago, I was like, how is this going to work?
Uh-huh.
Defying gravity. How are they going to? We've seen Harry Potter. We've seen people
Right.
fly on screen. How are they going to make it epic? And I think he did a great job. The falling and her not knowing how
The
to fly
baby.
1st, and like that. I was like, oh shit, he's making this a cinematic experience. He's making this more than just the song. It's not because
They could have kept her up there. They could have just said,
but they didn't.
But they didn't. They
and
said,
they
yeah.
told the story and they made the song longer. And like, I thought it
Yes.
was so well done. And I just that was my biggest thing a long time ago when, because they've been talking about the Wicked movie for like 10 years.
Right.
And
We've been waiting.
We've been waiting. We've all been waiting. But I just thought that was so good. And I didn't know how they were going to make something that's so epic on stage that
Translate.
epic on the screen.
Because it is such a theatrical moment. It's like, it is, pure theater magic. And so I was always telling people, because everyone was like, Wicked movie. And I was like, I want it, and I want it to be amazing. I was on team it should have been animated. Not that now that I've seen it, I don't agree.
That's his hot
Were they
take.
thinking about making it animated?
I don't know, but I was just worried that it was going to look like Oz the Great and Powerful. You know, that Disney movie with, like, what was his name?
Oh, I never saw that.
What was his name?
It was
James
bad,
Franco.
right?
Yeah, like
James
I was,
Franco,
I was
right.
like, this might look like that, or like, and I
Chugi.
Yeah, so I was like, my only.
Because that's a trap you could fall into. Well, we
Right.
we always talk. There was two options for Wicked. It could have
Right.
been like an Oscar film, or it could have been like, and this is no shade, but it could be like The Greatest,
Greatest
Showman.
Showman.
You know what I mean?
But like, do you think it's I think it's an Oscar.
That's
oh,
what we're
we
saying.
agree.
We think it's
So it-
yes.
I think it
Yeah.
could win.
I think it could.
And also, I think Ariana Grande could win.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
think
God.
100%.
I think Cynthia Erivo's excellent.
Yeah.
But Ariana Grande did an incredible job. I
Yeah.
was like,
I have chills.
We were saying we think it's
I'm-
going to be like, or I was saying I thought that it might be a little Barbie situation where like Margot Robbie didn't get nominated, but Ryan Gosling did get nominated, and where it's like Cynthia kind of gets a little snubbed, but Ariana
They
gets
can't.
like.
I think Cynthia Part 2. I mean, Act 2 is like Elphaba.
oh my God, maybe one of them will win for part one. And one
You hear that, Academy?
Well, yeah, because
One
they're
for
listening.
part one for part two.
That would be like so serendipitous. It'd be perfect.
We were saying last week too that it was such a validating experience, and I'm sure having been in the show, it is where you just realize people care so deeply about this thing that you
Oh my
love.
God.
Like, like I was like, I love this show so much, and clearly other people did too, to make
And they
something so
cared.
beautiful.
I feel like John Chu.
Yeah.
John Chu, right?
Mhm.
I feel like he did it with a lot of care for musical theater people and
Yes.
Broadway in particular. Like I think he like kept the theatricality of it
Yeah.
while adding his own touch to
Yeah,
it.
as you always
Yeah.
say, like his unexpected.
He was everything he did is so unexpected. Like
Yeah.
the whole, even like the cameos when you see Kristen, you
We
see
had
the book
no
writer.
idea.
Oh my God, how campy was that?
Amazing.
Oh, those
And they
dresses.
leaned the fuck into,
into
the
it,
camp.
which they had to.
It was
That was the
so
perfect
fun.
place to do cameos too. One short day, like perfect place.
I thought we were gonna hear Kristen Chenoweth with like, is she really dead? And then when it was a full musical number,
And then Steven Schwartz.
I know
That's what I'm
and
saying.
Winnie
They like
Holtzman,
you were there, you were
everybody. I
there.
was like,
Oh,
it
That
was
made me
in-
cry.
Yeah,
I know.
It was pretty
Oh
magical.
my gosh.
oh my gosh.
Okay, so I have another question for you.
Okay.
So today, famously on the day of our recording, is your anniversary. Happy
Yeah.
anniversary!
Happy
Thank
anniversary.
you.
You and Austin played Hans and Elsa together.
Yeah.
Do
Oh
you
my
have-
God! Wait, I didn't know he played Hans.
Yes, girl.
He was the original Prince Hans on the tour.
No way.
And he
And
ate
he
down.
was amazing.
He was
Wait,
amazing.
I have a weird question before you ask yours.
Please.
Was he knows like John Simony and Alex Aguilar? Was he an Uptown Boy? The Billy Joel thing?
Yes.
I was an Uptown Boy too.
Stop.
That's how because
He
I was.
did the original. He
Yes.
did like the promo.
He's
for
the
it.
original, right? And I
He's the
remember
OG.
he's the OG because he
He
was
did that during the pandemic. That was like
That's
a
what it
job.
was.
He went like for a week.
to Maryland,
to-
Massachusetts,
No, up.
New Hampshire.
I think it was up.
Yeah, the Palace, I think. Because I remember when I had to learn it, they were like, "Here's a video," and I was like, "Where do I know this guy from?" And then I like looked at the names, and I was like, "Oh, wait, let me look him up." I was like, "Oh, that's how I know him."
Yeah.
But anyways, that's
So-
our one step
Uptown
over.
Boys. I said that to Austin. I was like, that might come back like if you need a gig in between gigs.
Oh my
like,
god, it's amazing! I love doing it.
It's
But
fun.
Anyways,
Also,
it's
it's
Maybe you
great
guys
fun.
will do it together.
We should-
aren't you his track?
I'll be his understudy, honey. I'll be his understudy, honey. Yeah.
He'll learn another track.
So
All
Hans
of
and
it.
Elsa, check. Do you guys have other dream shows you guys have talked about doing together? Because I have a list of 12.
Stop.
100%.
I want to hear your list.
I want to hear yours first and see if there's overlap.
I don't know. everybody asks us if we would do Wicked. I think my Wicked days are done.
Sure.
I think I did it, and I'm really happy that I can go. It's like the barometer. I can go, this is not going to be as hard as Elphaba.
Sure. Yeah.
So I've did that.
Yeah.
So
Check.
yeah. So I can be like, nothing is going to be as hard as that. So you're fine. Do it.
Right.
So I think he would be an excellent Fiyero.
Yeah.
What do we want to do? We've talked about things, but I don't know.
Give him one. Give her one.
I'll start from the top. Dot and George. I
Oh
must see.
yes,
Must
I want to be
see.
Dot so bad.
She's
Oh,
up there. Of course.
You would.
This is my side of the
You would eat.
of the panel.
Dot and George.
Dot and George. Alice and Jimmy Ray and Bright Star. I think she would be brilliant.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I just got
I have
chills at that.
I got chills too.
Also,
Oh
he'd
my
be
God.
great as the son.
Oh
in
my
that
God.
one. That'd
Okay,
be a
well,
great
did you hear that?
situation.
Who's
His voice
producing
is
it?
Stupid beautiful.
Oh my God, I would die to see that. Alice is like,
Perfect for you.
I would love to do that. I love to do that show.
In a couple years, Diana and Dan in Next to Normal.
Cool.
That's a little further
Give it
away.
a couple years,
Yeah,
yeah.
give it a couple years.
Well,
But
it's
Casey Levy just did it.
well, it's
I mean,
coming
I
know,
soon.
that's
It's
true.
coming, is what I hear.
Yeah, well, I heard. Did that nix?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe because of I don't know, but I'm trying to think of other lists. I think about this too much. This is all I do all day. It's just like
I love
people
you
into
so
shows.
I'll get a text message. And he's like, "Can I tell you something?" I'm like this. Yeah. He's like, "What are your thoughts on this?" And I'm like this. Oh my little. I call him my musical theater encyclopedia.
Do you ever want to be in casting?
I want,
But
to
you love
be-
performing, so it's like
yeah, I don't know. I want to be in this world. I don't care.
you want to do it everything.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
really care how. Yeah, the other I don't care. I'll do whatever.
I love you.
You too.
He's so sweet.
I'll bring coffees. I'll do whatever. I'll just like.
No, you're
No,
too
he's too
talented.
talented.
But and also you love performing.
I do love performing.
But
It's-
you're like
I'd love to teach
so
at some point
invested.
later in life. Like I'd love to do a musical theater history class because I love my musical theater.
You would go
history.
in.
I would go in.
You would go in.
I'm trying to think of other ones I've thought about.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
I can't wait to tell Austin. We've thought about those. Those were
Jimmy Ray and Alice is the one I've thought about a lot because I think I'd also just love to see you play.
Austin's
like,
good friends with Paul Nolan.
oh,
Oh,
So,
really?
like, and he really looks up to him.
He would be so good in that role, and you would be so good at playing the like 14 to like 40 like whole thing. I love it.
She has to sing down.
And she does.
She does.
Right.
Speaking
And she
of,
do.
Speaking of singing down,
She do.
I need to talk about Evita because Evita is my favorite Andrew Lloyd Webber score. That
too.
it is so special. I recently went home. It was kind of like the score my family would always play around the house.
I love that.
I mean, and it shows, I think, clearly with who I've become. But my grandmother was at home, and she's, I'm coming to visit post Frozen. And I walk into the house, and on the TV is your rehearsal video of Buenos Aires, just like randomly. She doesn't even know how to use Facebook. She deletes Facebook every day, but somehow your video is up there. And it's because she loves Evita, and she was growing up in Latin America and during the time of the Perón regime. So like she thinks it's...
She was.
Yeah, she was
Wow.
in Ecuador and Mexico during that.
Oh my gosh, how fascinating.
And the thing she always talks about is how that woman, her fashion and all that was so influential, which is what I'm obsessed with, that staging of Rainbow High, of just the getting dressed almost being like a military thing to it. There's like, this is so important because whatever she wears is going to be mimicked throughout all of Latin America. And that is so much influence in, 1940s, 1950s.
Totally.
So she it was a way for her to bond with me. She was like, here, I'm going to put Evita up on the TV. And it was you. And I was like, that's my friend Caroline. And she was like, no, that's Patti LuPone. And I was like,
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Thank you.
Nope, that's
Thank
Patti
you.
LuPone. Oh my gosh.
What was
that's
it like
so
singing
funny.
that score?
The best.
Was it just like
I-
juicy for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That show, I don't know. I found like a really great place for it. Granted, I did 6 a week. It's a 6 show a week role. So I got to the 6th show and was done.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
also, that's what I trained my body to do.
Sure.
Like I couldn't do 7 or 8.
You were also dancing in that production too.
Dancing. It was so fun. It was so fun. It was everything. I loved it so much. I loved researching the role. I loved I loved everything about it. But the sing was really, it's like my favorite sing I've ever done. It's really my bread and butter. Like it fit. And I found like mixy places for things. And
What was your favorite I mean, I would say like there's the favorite song, but also it's sung through, right? There's no book, right?
It's sung through, yeah.
What was your favorite like phrase to sing that wasn't necessarily like a "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina"?
This is crazy.
I have one.
Defeatist talk. Why commit political suicide? There's no risk. There's no call for any action at all when you have unions on your side.
Peron. Like,
I love that because then it goes into
my favorite, and I showed it to him, and it's you specifically the way you sing it in A New Argentina is when y'all are down on your knees. That don't you think I got those my best too? Crazy the way you're a technician on that.
But it's hilarious. Okay, so I think the one that's on bootlegs.
Right.
There's like number one, that Rainbow High that's online was early on in the run.
That's
Sure.
gay canon.
And I remember, well, like when I found out because that was going around, somebody sent it to me, and I was like, "Oh man, this is like our second city on tour." It got better. Like I was like,
It did? I don't know how.
well, just
That's
like
amazing.
deeper. Like I'm me like watching it. I'm like,
Right.
I like found her. Like it took
Right.
me a while.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yeah.
25 years old. Like I'm like,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah, I was,
Playing Ava Perón.
which like makes sense. She died at 33.
That's
So,
true.
Yeah.
That's very
Her
true.
playing age 15 to 33, like
Right.
you probably want
Right.
somebody,
Right in the
which they
smack
never
middle.
did before. They
Right.
leaned. I mean, what was Patty like? Maybe 30 or something.
Yeah.
Maybe 29 or 30.
Wow.
But I found more depth in her. But then watching that, I mess up the words in that. I don't think like you. I often do. Nightmare too. They all because I had just gotten a note about like the lyric saying the word often. And often.
Uh-huh.
And so
You clocked it?
because it's like always and often.
Yes, I always
or
get those
something.
nightmares too.
And I had just gotten the note about taking the T out of the word off. Like the pronunciation is often
Instead
for
of
often.
uh-huh.
And I was making her heightened because
Right.
she's a woman who was trying to put something on at all times and
Right.
trying to play.
Patty LaPone.
Yeah, but also she was trying to play Patty LaPone. But also she was Ava, and she was like she wasn't educated. She learned
Right.
by
all
listening and
facade.
watching, and
Right.
she was young, and she's like, "Oh, well, I can be posh too. This is how I speak." So I had her, I don't know, I often get those nightmares too.
Yeah.
But they always take some. But he had just given me that note, and I was overthinking it.
Oh,
I
so
said,
they often
I said,
take some.
They often get those nightmares too. They often take some swallowing. And I'm like, in the video, you can see me like
Well,
close
do you know
my
what's
eyes
crazy
because I'm
about
like,
that?
what did I just say?
I'm gagged because I'm actually so gagged right now because that part of the score is one of my favorite things in musical theater ever because I think it's such brilliant like marriage of lyrics to music because it forces the actor to have to swallow right before the word swallowing, and so I thought it was a choice.
Oh,
'Cause
hilarious.
They,
And it
they
was.
often take some swallowing.
was.
Like I thought it was fully
I'm a
you
great
like
actor.
taking a beat of like gulp. This is.
I
like,
always take some swallowing.
It was intentional.
I was like, ugh.
and then the flip on the
Momentum.
that like
If it's
crazy.
terrifying. And then what I did if I hadn't thought.
Do you hear this, y'all? It's crazy.
And your wigs are amazing
Yeah.
in that show.
The
What's
wig.
your favorite wig you've ever? Because you've worn some iconic wigs.
You're so gay.
I know.
No.
I'm so gay.
No.
too. No, I never knew I could be a platinum blonde. I'm like so
I know.
And,
I'm
like,
obsessed.
and be like the I could be really dark, I could be really light. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, oh gosh, my Elsa wigs were so good.
So cute.
So good.
And I had a fierce Nicola wig and kinky boots.
Oh my
with, like,
God,
the
yes.
bangs and,
Oh
like,
my god, I
long
forgot
and
about
dark.
kinky boots.
Um,
That's
What
so
was your
fun.
you were a factory worker at one point too, right?
I was.
What was your factory worker wig?
It was this like short. So she went through like my factory worker went through a journey because they couldn't figure out what they wanted to do with me because it was supposed to be like this factory worker in Northampton, England, where it's like kind of very normal people,
Right.
And they were like do we make her a mom? So they gave me, because I was like 23 24 when we were doing the out of town, and so my wig was like originally this like flipped out wig that was like they were trying to make me a young mom. And Jerry Mitchell over the God mic when we were in previews in Chicago.
That's so scary. I know that.
You know that we did our out of town in Chicago.
It's weird.
I mean, it's not weird.
I'm just
It's
kidding.
not
No,
weird.
it's a little strange. I know
No,
that.
I'm just
The out of
kidding.
town, the out of town of Kinky Boots was in Chicago.
You better work.
And Jerry was like, "Why can't she just be a young pretty girl in the factory? Why are we trying to make her? Why are we trying to make her like this like mom
Disguise.
that's like like somebody that's like would never work in a factory?"
That's hilarious
like-
because I did it at Music Theater Wichita, and we rented all of that package, so all the costumes were Broadway costume sets
You did it at Wichita
with Michael Mulcanen, who said it, with Preston and I being drag queens.
Wait a minute, you did that recently?
Like 2 years before Frozen? Before I joined Frozen.
Was my nephew Bo in it?
Yes!
Yes.
Wait, did you
Bo
see
Baxter.
it?
I did see it.
I was Bikini Girl.
Wait a minute. At the time, you weren't in Frozen yet at
No.
that time?
No.
Because I was in Frozen.
Yes.
Because I was in Frozen
I am
forever.
now vaguely remembering
Wait, I'm
the like
confused.
rumorville going around, everyone being like, Caroline Bowman's in the audience. Caroline Bowman's in the
Oh,
audience.
yeah.
And I just put it together that you're Caroline Bowman and you were in the audience. Yeah,
Oh
I
my
was
God.
Bikini Girl.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Hilarious.
And they asked me if I wanted to shave every part of my body, and I said no, not for $400 a week.
Tell her
Oh
what
my
your
goodness
tell her what your drag
gracious.
name was.
No.
Diana Beatties was my drag
Diana
name.
Beatties.
Me and Preston, we were both drag
Preston
queens.
was in that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh.
It's crazy how like small the little world is.
But
I
what's
don't
the-
even know. Time is so weird.
What's
I don't
hilarious
even know
about it-
like what year we're in.
They put all these 20-year-olds in all of the ensemble members'
Let's go
wigs.
back and elect Hillary
Yeah.
Clinton.
I know, like,
Can we
let's
go
back
back
to
in
2016.
time?
Like,
Can we go back
fully.
and redo
I know.
everything?
we all wake up. It was just a simulation.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
But I'll
for the
keep
past 10
Frozen.
years.
That's my only thing.
Yeah, you can keep
Please,
that.
Please.
We'll allow that.
Keep Frozen,
Yeah.
but then we reverse.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I
Anyway.
love it.
I'm gonna look up because we also
Okay.
have
Oh, yes!
some of our audience members sent in questions.
Oh, fun.
So I'm gonna look at those, but you can keep talking while I pull them up.
Oh my God, amazing.
Or I can
What can you tell us about Smash so far?
Ugh,
Yeah.
girl.
What can I tell you?
Yeah.
Can you tell us any? Are you in
anything?
rehearsals yet?
No, we're doing a reading coming up of the new script at early December, but I don't start rehearsals until the end of January.
The reason we started this podcast fully, 100% in all honesty, was, say it with me, to be on the red carpet.
of Smash. We want to be the interviewers like this.
Yes.
So maybe
Yes.
this is round one of like,
Yeah, we're
that,
gonna-
and then we'll see you
We're gonna
again.
collect you all.
How
Like,
can we make that happen?
I don't know. We got to figure that out.
We got to talk to teammates.
Literally, I'm not kidding. The first episode, we were like, so we're starting this because Smash was just announced as like
It's happening.
it's happening. It's coming to
happening.
Broadway, and we were like, we have to make a this is our moment.
This is our moment.
This is our moment.
I hadn't gotten to the Frozen. I don't even think I had like.
We had just moved to
heard-
New York City.
Yeah, and I was like,
We could make this happen.
I mean,
think.
if you know, if you have any connections,
Because there's so many people on the red carpet, I'm
That's
like
what I'm
not
saying.
sure
Yeah.
what they're
How I think they
interviewing for.
That's what I'm saying. We
I
gotta
will
get-
take this whole thing and just be like,
and we would ask the best questions. They'd
yeah,
be so
we
funny.
go in.
Totally.
It'd be great.
I'm gonna look it up.
Honestly, it's so funny because people have audacity on the internet, right?
Yeah.
So they just like say what they want,
Right.
And sometimes they're dicks,
Yeah.
and they just can be dicks. It's like amazing. So it's gonna be different from the series, but why would we do the series? We've already gotten the series,
Right.
Why would we do what we've already seen?
Same thing with Wicked. It's like, why would we put the stage show up on screen? We have to.
It won't
change-
work.
It has to adapt.
Have
Like,
to change some things.
Yeah.
So we're still gonna have we're still gonna have some musical theater drama. There's gonna be rivalry,
Thank
but
God.
and there's still gonna be the bombshell of it all. But it's
Ugh.
gonna be different. That's like I think that's what I can say.
Right.
Because I think we should be prepared for it to be different, but like also you're gonna it's all the same songs, so you're gonna hear the songs that you love.
what a great score too.
Oh my
Those songs
gosh,
are so
they're
good.
so good.
Yeah,
They're so
they're
good and
so catchy.
like I
Oh my
don't
God.
know,
Are
Mark
you?
Shaman.
Are you? I mean, I'm sure you can't tell us like what songs you're.
I can't.
Singing.
I can't.
But
There's some bootlegs online though from some.
But
from
I
the
am
workshop.
recording it, so.
Oh
So,
my God! Have you
yeah.
talked to Catherine McPhee at all?
I met her at opening of Sunset really quickly, but no, I haven't talked to her. But Krista Rodriguez was at opening of Sunset, and I was talking to her, and my friend Ben Rauhala came as one of my dates for opening night of Sunset, and so Ben was like, "Oh my gosh, you got to go over and get a picture with Catherine."
Yeah.
Because the Smash announcement was coming out the next day. Like I said, overstimulation.
Right.
I'm at this like huge Sunset party, and then I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? Or no, it was like 2 days later. Anyway, but he I'm glad he did, but he got a picture of me, Krista, and Catherine, which is online. I can send it to you.
Please.
Oh, that's
that's great.
amazing.
And so, yeah, I got a picture with her, but I don't know if she quite understood. Like, somebody, I didn't tell her, but I think Krista was like, she's going to be Karen in the Smash musical, and she was like, "Oh, we would have met eventually." Like that's kind of what she said. But it was a loud room, and
Sure.
again,
She's
like,
iconic.
You found out about Smash 2 at your final sound check, right? For Frozen? You just like are overstimulated, I feel like constantly. It's like like things
Booked.
happen.
Honestly,
yeah, but
maybe like,
honestly.
since the last 2 weeks of Frozen, I haven't stopped being stimulated.
Yeah.
But
I mean, hey.
in a good way.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Keep 'em coming.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
stimulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a call from my reps. No, I think I had finished sound check and I was about to do quick change rehearsal, and my advanced dresser was in my room, and I looked down at my phone, and my manager was calling, and I was like, I have to take this. Can I have the room for a second? And she left, and I answered and started immediately crying.
Ugh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my dream. I get to originate a Broadway role. Like,
oh my God.
I've never gotten to originate a role. And I just was like heaving, crying. And I had already spent the entire sound check crying.
We all were. We
I
were a
was like,
wreck.
it was
I know, I
so
saw videos of that.
much.
Yeah.
And then I was like, get it together. You have a week of shows to do and you want to do them well. Like you want to end this on a high note, literally. And
That was good.
so I said goodbye and I was like, I gotta go do quick change. And then Tiffany came in, the advanced dresser, and she hugged me and I was sobbing and she goes, is this good? And I go, it's really good. It's really good. I just don't know what to do.
Because at this point we knew you were leaving just solely
For
for Sunset. It was like that was the gig, and then I got a text from Dustin and he was like, I have something to tell you, but please don't tell anyone. And I was like, of course, what's going on?
Dustin is
Yeah.
the best and the worst.
I know. I know.
Because if you
I
tell
never
him a
met him.
secret, he's going to be so happy for you that he has to share. He has to spill it.
He has
That's
to.
kind
has
of
to
me,
spill the
though.
tea.
Well, and then
the thing is, if it's not like if I told him like if I literally told him a
I'll kill you.
secret,
Right.
like he's not going to share it. But if it's like something that's exciting and somebody that would be
right.
like pumped, of course.
Well, so of course
but-
I bloody murder scream. I was like, no, no. I text one person, this one, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to even be telling you this, but I just found out some crazy smash tea.
And then I was like this.
No.
the nose heard around the world.
Yeah,
Literally.
truly. He was like, the belting is about to be insane, and I said, I know, it's about to go crazy.
Oh,
It was really nuts. And then I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do Sunset. And I was like, wait, I'm leaving Frozen to do Sunset. I
Right.
have to do Sunset.
Right.
Like I was like, I said, we got to figure out how to do both because I'm like, I can't, I'm leaving this job that has been like my home
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
or like a month early. And I'm like, I that would be silly. I'm like, I don't want to leave for no reason. I
Yeah.
want to stay if I can. And I'm like, I
Right.
already was leaving, and I already had a replacement. I already had Alyssa coming in. Like it was like, I'm like, I
It
can't.
was all set in motion.
Wait. And so that was a little spirally.
It's such a strange. People, I think, don't talk a lot about that on the tour life. It really is home. It becomes your family. It becomes your living situation. Like
Right.
the weird thing about it ending is it kind of feels a little bit like you're being evicted, where you're like, okay, bye. I'm gonna go find a home now. Like, I've been living out of a suitcase. I mean, it ultimately works out fine. You find another home, but like, it's such a strange experience for
It
the
is.
closing. You should have seen me on closing night. I was Dustin, speaking back, had to my final show, like when I was like, this is gonna be my last time, there's no more scheduled, there's like 2 more days, was in the wings during my curtain call, jokingly being like, keep it together, you're still on stage. And I was like this, I can't.
I know
It's so
everybody
sad.
said that final show.
It was-
Everybody was crying.
Yeah, me and Sarah, our other swing, were holding each other in the back of the theater, just like fully like shaking, crying. It was a lot. Yeah.
I mean that generally happens pretty much at the end of any show that you're finishing, but like Frozen just was such a journey, and we all went through so much together, and it was a really special group.
it was that it's hard to explain to people how incredible that group of people
The
were.
heart was we all beat as one.
Well, and that
together,
was because of you and Lauren. That was like you and Lauren set that up for us, and then everyone else was like, how can you come to work and be sour after, like, you know, when you have these 2 people leading your
And a
show?
special
like,
story that you're telling.
That means a
too.
lot to
Truly,
me.
but it's true.
also
It
like
starts at
it
the
is a
top.
trickle down effect.
It is.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It is, but we had leaders throughout the company too that like it was good. It was
Yeah, it was a good group.
And working for Disney is really great.
It's real
Right.
nice.
It's really nice.
I love them. I'm a Disney nerd. I'd love to work for you again, please.
Ditto, me too.
Yeah, anytime.
maybe-
Me 3.
Okay, do you have these questions?
Yeah,
for
so
us?
I have a couple questions. One, kind of, you mentioned a little bit about being standby in Sunset. This person asks, our friend Reese, like tips for being a standby versus, because you are the standby, Mandy is the alternate. Is that how it works, kind of?
Yeah, it's a straight. Well, she's for this contract. It's called the guest star
Oh.
because she's not in the building.
Oh, wow.
Other than her one show a week.
Oh, I didn't know
It
that.
is so weird. I've
kind of
never,
amazing.
I mean, fierce,
Right.
right. And she gets to have a life, and she has a kid, and like
That's good.
awesome. It's
Yeah.
so great for her. So and it's new for her too. Like
Right.
she and I were talking about that. She's like, I've never like learned such a huge epic role,
Uh-huh.
and then been able to like be home with my daughter and be around for.
It's beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
That's a unique experience, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's not in the building. I'm in the building 8 times a week.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's new for me.
Yeah.
I've being prepared
Mm-hmm.
and so rehearsed and having zero payoff
Yeah.
Right.
is wild.
Yeah.
And I work hard. So
You're full out or no?
I'm a full out person.
Right.
So I was like living and breathing this show and then not doing it. It is
It's interesting.
so weird.
It's kind of the opposite of being a swing in the sense that like swings, you do all that homework and you go full out, and then it's like inevitably it's gonna be chaos, and you're about to go in, and it's gonna be
Right.
like go go go. For you, it's like dive in,
Yeah.
like, and it's
Yeah.
like you have all of this energy to just kind of.
And I had to do a lot of work myself because
Right.
I wasn't on my feet. Most of the work was me learning by watching, which is I'm so not used to, or doing it like in the balcony during tech. Like I was like stand in the lobby running the show.
That's so intriguing.
How was learning truly, I guess, from sitting all that camera work? Is it crazy?
Oh yeah, that's kind of wild.
I need to see it.
You have to. I've seen it twice now, and I'm going back on the.
Wait, you saw it again?
I brought my family.
Oh, cool.
I saw it because I lost my mind. I was like, "This is the craziest thing I have ever seen in my entire life."
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really.
I'll come with you.
It breaks all
Yeah.
the rules, really.
It really. I mean, I
you guys
want
want to come on January 12th?
I'm
That's what I was
coming.
He's coming, I think. So
Yes.
I'll come.
Well,
That
I'll
is
find
my
I'll be there.
only planned show. I might only get one, and then
I'm-
I leave.
That's amazing,
and get
though.
this, we're gonna go
but
nuts.
like the build, I mean,
I know.
the build up for one
Right.
I know.
is. I mean, I'm not. People keep asking me if I'm really, really nervous. I'm like, well, number one, if I was really, really nervous right now for January 12th,
Right.
I'd have
It'd be crippling.
I would be like. I would die.
And there's
I would
also-
die. I would literally die before
There
January.
is a
12th.
world. It's like it's not like you have to get ready for January 12th. It's like you're ready today to do it. So it's like there's just the anticipation for it, but like
And it's ultimately, I think the theater's just going to be filled with my friends. and
That's so
family.
special.
yeah,
So it's like, I
and
mean,
gay people.
and
gay
well,
and
that's
gay
my
men.
friends and family.
right. Right. That's your chosen family.
Come on,
Yeah.
but I so it's not as like it's not like I'm like doing it for. I mean, it's going to be industry people, but
Right.
Right.
I don't know.
gonna be amazing. I
It'll be
can't wait.
fun and it'll be a wild show. I bet.
And
Yeah.
the total
And if I
opposite
get
of
one,
Elsa
if I get,
Check.
it could not be farther from
in
Elsa.
every single way.
I could not have gotten into a show that's farther from what I was just
Just
doing.
like at the heart of like conceal, don't feel versus like go gung go gung ah! Like from the jump, like
But there are crossovers.
sure.
There's like,
Please,
Norma is heartbreaking.
Yes.
Norma is a sad person.
Especially in this production.
and there's
It's-
like so much insecurity there, and she's masking it, and she's like she hides behind this facade, and then you see her with the camera work. You
Right.
see her like the camera zooms in, and she's crying alone, and like I mean, and then like the darkness and what all those things, like how can you take them to the extreme to drive you actually insane?
yeah,
Right.
truly
And-
to like seeing red, like like to that level.
Yeah,
It's-
and then narcissist, and she's so full of herself, but she doesn't really know how to be other than that. And she got so famous so young, and just like what all that does to a human person,
Yeah. That
and
young
how much is
dancer.
she concealing, not feeling, you know?
No, truly.
And then what? And then she feels everything, and she doesn't know how to handle it, and then she's out of her body, and suddenly she's got blood all over her. That's
Come see the
the
show.
end.
Do you know what I'm so excited about with Smash? And I was talking to Dustin about this when I found out that you booked it. Is like, and I mean, of course, I don't know what changes are being made for this one, but I feel like so many of the characters I've seen you play, and because you are such a powerful person, are like these women that are Ava Perón, Elphaba, Elsa, Norma, that like, you know, have this otherworldly
My dream blunt rotation.
Right, my literal dream blunt rotation.
Wait, did you just say dream blunt rotation? Like
No.
like a blunt, like marijuana?
Yes.
Yes.
like
like
those women.
like marijuana.
I don't know what that is.
But,
Wait, so like you smoke a joint
yeah,
and then
like pass it around to those women and just like chat.
oh my
It's like a
god,
thing on. It's like thing online. Like, who's your dream blunt rotation? It's
Elsa-
basically who you just want to gab and yap
yeah,
with.
Elsa,
Elphaba,
Ava, Norma, and
Norm-
Elphaba.
Norma would.
Norma
she'd
would
gag.
eat them all. Like Norma would like.
She might.
She might.
Oh.
They're all.
Maybe
she
she's
might be
not
the one
invited.
who sits at her own table.
Yeah, she can be over there.
Karen, from what we know of the TV show, is the first like. I mean, you bring such a humanity to all of these women, but like it's the first like 2024 normal person.
It's close. It's so wild that this is how I'm originating a role because it's really me.
Yeah.
Like it's somebody who hasn't gotten her shot yet. I've done all these national tours where somebody has already originated the role. I've replaced on Broadway, and I've done, so the next step is for me, and my original role is like somebody who loves musical theater and loves her job and just wants to like keep doing it and keep working and work hard and is just eager and hasn't gotten her shot yet. Like that's literally the role, and that's me.
amazing.
it.
It's like I don't have to put anything on.
I'm so
it's
excited.
just who I am.
And just like, yeah.
Which is why, like, that's what I have to say to myself, because every time I'll get like butterflies in my stomach and get a little nerve, like I'm imposter syndrome,
of course.
and I go, this is all too much, and I don't deserve it, and I'm not going to be able to do it. And then I go, but it's not. You're just you.
Yeah.
All you have to do. They hired me because I'm me.
Right.
They didn't. I didn't do anything extra to get this part. I just. Which is what a lesson, because
Yeah.
we try to go into a room and be what they want us to be, and that never works.
Yeah.
Right.
And
The stars just kind of align, and you're like, this
the
is...
stars for this could not have, like, I was in Vancouver.
Uh-huh.
We were on tour with Frozen, and I did a Zoom callback for this, and then did a
Oh, wow.
dance video for them, like from a studio in Spokane.
Wow.
And all this, like, for some reason, the technology gods worked for me. We had a studio in Vancouver. We never have a dance studio on tour. Like,
Right. Oh my gosh,
these
yes, we
theaters,
had that one
We
in
had amazing
Vancouver.
Wi-Fi. We had a
Yes.
dance studio that I could set up the room.
Wow.
That never happens.
It's like all the little things.
All the
No,
little
truly,
things.
but, like, that-
it was a lot of work, and I worked
yeah.
so hard to get that job. I will never, like, no, I definitely earned it.
Yeah.
Period.
But it was all the things that I needed to happen were perfectly aligned. I was in a different country.
Right.
Right.
Well, I
And-
remember
Wow.
because so many people were going for the dance call. It was, I mean, that week was insane.
Everybody was auditioning.
And of course, we're literally in a different country, like across.
That's so
the continent.
annoying.
Like, it was like, and like Beauty and the Beast, Smash, Shucks tour, everything was happening, and everyone was
Yeah.
like, me. I took those personal days so quick because I was like, Swing Nation's about to get insane,
yeah.
and I said, peace out.
Bye.
I was gone for 2 days. I came back, and it was like, split track. And I was like, okay, cool.
I mean,
cool.
they asked me if I would come in for final callbacks for Smash, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, I cannot come in.
Yeah.
I'm in my final 2 weeks of Frozen. I can't miss this.
Yeah.
This is really important for my life. And I'm like, I would love to make this work, but I'm like, this, I can't do all that for a maybe.
Right. And also,
I
I think
need-
that
And that's a
shows that-
testament to you
That's what I was
as a
gonna
person
say.
too. Like you put all your you do your shit and you're all in when you're
Yeah.
all in. That's
And I'm sure it
That's special.
shows that,
Right.
like, I'm sure they respect the idea of like,
Oh,
My
I'm
showing
sure.
up to
loyalty.
work. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was like,
your
and
commitment.
I knew it was going to be crazy, and I was like, I've like worked so hard to get to this point, like to finish this tour, and I'm like, I'm so close.
Yeah.
Like if it was even a month ahead of, like maybe I would
Sure,
have been
take the
able to
day.
take.
Yeah.
right.
But it was just I was so far away, and I just said no, and then they said, okay, we'll make it work this way.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Wow.
you will. But it was insane. So anyway,
The stars were in alignment.
But yeah, that's crazy.
Are there any more
Oh, yeah.
sickening questions?
There was
We
one
got on
about
tangents.
Let's see. Oh, this one's interesting. About so I have a friend named Lexi who listens, and she is currently on tour now too, and she was wondering how it was for you and your husband, like a long distance, like balancing that.
Oh yeah.
With
So, I knew I would do Frozen longer than Austin.
Right. Okay, because you started together. That's so interesting.
Yeah, we started the tour together. So we did pre-pandemic and then about a year post-pandemic, and he left. I always thought I would do 2 years of Frozen.
Right.
And I did more than that.
1,000 plus Elsas?
It was your era.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did over 1,000.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know what the final number was, but over 1,000 is pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he got enough out of playing Hans after a year, and I couldn't get enough of playing Elsa, and
That's amazing.
I also like it's. So we knew that. So yeah, the question is this: stay on task, Caroline.
Oh my
I can
gosh.
so totally like veer off.
We're right
course.
there with you.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's like a no brainer. Like
You're doing
he's
what
my
you
partner.
love.
Like I was like we signed the contract of being each other's partner, knowing that we're not going to hold each other back from our dreams. So like
right.
and we don't have kids right now, and I think the worst thing is that we missed each other, but we
And he visited a lot.
he visited
Oh,
a
that's
lot.
good.
Yeah.
Especially when we were on the East Coast, I would bop to him wherever he was, and
Nice.
yeah, we just made it work. We really just made it work, and we'd try to see each other every 3 weeks or so.
That's great.
Which is hard to do, but we did. We, even
And
if
being
it's-
both theater people, like you have that understanding
get it.
too, right?
Yeah.
You get it.
we just get it. It's
Yeah.
like people always are like, I can't believe you married somebody in this business, and I was like, I can't believe you married
Someone,
you
right?
married someone
else.
not
Yeah.
in this business.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to explain to him.
Right.
And sometimes if I get an audition for something that's like, if I get an audition for a movie that shoots in LA, he's like, fierce, go
Right.
for it.
Go.
You know, like
He can be
we're-
your cheerleader too.
There's no, like,
and you can be his.
Right.
we go, we're going to figure it out, and we're
Right.
going to figure it out together. And that's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're going to figure it out together. It's a dream come true.
It's amazing.
So
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
so
you.
sweet.
And
thank you.
Should we
Move
move
to
to our
Audrey to
final
that?
segment? We
Yeah.
didn't even warn you about this one. So this is our
Honey.
final segment. I introduced
Honey.
it last week. Do you want to introduce it?
No. Yeah. Yeah. I'll introduce it, I guess.
I'm like still trying
So-
to find mine.
Oh, you are? I
Yeah.
know mine.
Actually, I got
Well, then I'll start.
Yeah.
So if you have one, it's great. If you don't, just gag.
You'll find it in the work.
You'll find it in the
in
work.
the work.
But we call it I'll Drink to That, and we end every episode with it. And it's something that we're just like obsessing over at a current like pop culture, musical, like some kind of reference, something that you've seen online, something that you're just gagging over. And I can tell you mine. So mine.
We'll go in this order.
Yeah, and if you don't have one, that's totally fine because we didn't warn you.
Sorry, that's on me.
It's okay. My I'll Drink to That is. Did you guys see that Beyonce was at the Death Becomes Her opening?
Guess who's right behind her? My manager.
No way!
What would you do?
My manager's right in that picture that
No.
was going viral around. The Jen Namoff is right behind.
What
her.
would you do?
So funny.
If
I
you were on a Broadway
couldn't
show
imagine.
and in walks Beyonce Knowles, I wouldn't
Like,
watch
how
the show.
did she do that?
How do you freaking
I-
watch the
I
show?
mean, of course she's there. She's there for her girl,
Yeah,
for Michelle.
of course.
For her girl.
For our girl Michelle.
I literally would've been
But
like,
like, how does she walk anywhere?
Apparently, Michelle Obama was at Gypsy's second preview.
Of course she was.
Yeah, I was at first preview. Of course, I was. Yeah, we'll bitch in a second.
That's a good I'll drink to that.
I also meant to talk to you about Gypsy because you did it at the Cape, right?
I did,
I
and then I
love
was
that
supposed
play.
to do it at the Muni. They asked me to do it
Really?
with Beth Level. Who was I talking? I was talking
Oh,
to
I
someone
love
about
Beth
that last
Level.
night. I know she was supposed to be
Yeah.
my Mama Rose, but I couldn't get out of Kinky Boots.
you two are kind of like
I was gonna say that's great.
a
casting.
mother and daughter made in heaven.
I love Beth Level.
Yeah.
Jazzy Chaperone was the first show I saw
Oh.
where I didn't want to be Sutton Foster. I wanted to be Beth Level.
Oh,
Me too.
That was like the first Sutton Foster. Correct. Yeah.
I was like, I see me.
Yeah. I was
yeah,
like,
I wanted to be Janet
I-
Vandergraaf.
See,
You
yeah,
would eat.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that. I was like, I want to be the drunk. I
Yes.
want to be the drunk.
I want to be her.
As I stumble along.
Oh my god, you'd be brilliant. Also, I'd love to see you do comedy. That's
Me
you know,
too.
I haven't gotten to see you do.
You
Something
hear
real
that?
funny.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
Smash is gonna be
I have to
funny.
be so damn serious.
all the time.
And I'm kind of funny sometimes.
I
I'll drink to
yeah.
that.
Do you have one or
Oh my goodness.
Beyonce.
is mine just gonna?
Oh, yours was yes. I mean, honestly, honestly, and it's gonna be a no. This is not controversial at all. Sorry, I take it back. My I'll drink to that, and I've said it before in life. I've never said it on the pod. Is the overture to Gypsy? Damn, hearing that full orchestra
On Broadway.
bum, 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 I lost it.
Oh my God, I love Gypsy.
It's one of my favorite shows, absolutely
How
ever.
was it?
We'll chat.
Okay.
We'll chat. It was
I didn't see it.
it was first preview.
After hours.
There were, I don't mind saying this, there were a lot of tech issues.
He was like 2 hours late to our birthday party.
It was my birthday party because his birthday.
Your birthday party.
Our birthdays are a week
Yeah.
apart, so we
Oh
and
my
shout out to
gosh.
Chastity, who also has we're all a week apart from each other, so we always do a joint birthday party. I was 2.5 hours
Because
late
they had to keep
because
pause-
they kept holding.
Oh shoot.
And I was texting everyone. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I need to get to Rose's turn. How am I supposed to leave?"
Yeah. He was like,
I'm
should I
gonna
leave? And I
walk
was like,
out at
girl, you
intermission.
cannot leave.
I texted him. I was like, maybe I should leave. Like, I'm already an hour and a half late. And he was like, don't. Everyone here knows that you're at Gypsy and that you're not going to leave.
Right.
But that overture,
Eats.
it's incredible.
I love Gypsy.
Yeah.
It's so
I would love to
good.
have seen you and Julia Murn do the dressing room scene.
That was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool. It was also like the Cape Playhouse is summer stock at its
Right.
Summer stock at its finest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just like so old school, like no pressure, just like
Fun.
do the show.
Summer
Yeah.
camp.
Yeah. Just
love
have
that.
wine afterwards, go to bed, do it again. Drive to the beach.
Oh, love that.
I'm trying to think of what my I'll drink to that would be.
It can literally be, it could be a dish you ate that was absolutely delicious.
Oh, yeah.
A dish I ate.
That was
Oh
random.
my gosh,
on
I
myself.
had the stomach flu.
Oh my
from
gosh, yes.
from hell.
Yeah.
on
No.
Sunday. So like I've been getting my stomach back. Oh, I not sponsored. I had amazing cookies last night. Austin. Oh, so Austin and I went and saw Life and Trust.
Oh my gosh, with
which
Colin.
was I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
That
That's a
is
great
one.
crazy.
It's like a
Show?
you haven't
Immersive.
seen- yeah.
It's immersive. It's like
I
Sleep No
love-
More. Did you do Sleep No
No,
More?
but it's about to close. I need to go to sleep no more.
I haven't done it either. Should we go together?
Life and Trust is at the bottom of the island,
Shout
Wall
out.
Street.
Oh, scary.
Like so far down. So far down. I was like, wow,
Where am
we're
I?
in a whole different world. But we went down there last night and grabbed a little dinner after Austin's show and my show, and then we walked to this tiny little place called the Cookie Odyssey, and they have incredible cookies.
Ooh.
I love a good cookie.
You both
So my
also
stomach's back.
are good bakers.
Yeah,
both of
I
you.
like to bake.
Yeah.
I'll drink to
I'm
that.
I feel like I'm not like an incredible baker. I just like it. It's like
Yeah.
makes me,
Well, it's
which is hilarious because this is a spoiler for Smash.
Oh.
Karen is a baker and loves to bake. Like
Love.
it's her like she likes to her coping mechanism. And I was like, that's me.
This is a Ladies Who Brunch exclusive. Karen and Smash likes to bake.
She likes
I
to
love
bake.
it.
That
I
is
love
a
it.
part of my
That's
character.
amazing.
And
Oh.
I like to bake.
Yeah.
Caroline likes to bake. So Karen and
The
Caroline.
stars are in
Karen
alignment.
and Caroline baking.
We're bringing back Karen.
Yes.
We're bringing back Karen.
Are-
We're making Karen.
You're giving her
a
redemption.
good one again.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll switch this out.
We are
once
not
the
allowed to say
musical-
making Karen great again. because that doesn't
But wait, I think we actually can say
think we
that.
can.
Can we say that? Actually, yeah, we're reclaiming
claiming that.
We're
Reclaiming Karen.
reclaiming.
You hear that? Title of that, Reclaiming
Oh,
Karen.
that's it. Reclaiming Karen.
Reclaiming Karen.
That's honestly, I will drink to that.
Yeah, I'll drink
because
to that.
Karen needs to be reclaimed.
Yeah,
Does she?
come on.
You probably can't tell us, but does she still sing a Christina Aguilera song for her audition?
Hilarious.
She's like this.
Different from the series.
Okay,
yet,
good.
Sammy, so That's all I can say.
Because that was crazy.
But yes, Life and Trust. Go see it. Colin Baja is incredible, and Colin Baja played Sven in Frozen, and so
I met him at our birthday party that you were 2 hours late for.
That you were 2 hours
He was
late
like,
for.
"Where's Sammy?" I was like, "I don't know."
I don't know.
Although nice to meet you.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and he didn't get to, Sven. He was like being an athlete for the whole time, but
Yeah.
we didn't.
Right.
He went to Juilliard. I mean, he is a freaking phenomenal dancer and actor, and just like incredible performer. And this show really highlights that. And it was like we found it because it's immersive. Like you have to find the performers and follow who
We
you
gotta
want to
go.
follow.
We gotta go.
And so we found him. And we found him at the top. He does 2 loops of each performer does 2 loops of the show. So we found him about 40 minutes in, and we followed him for the whole hour of his show, and it was amazing.
Fun.
There was like one moment where I'm behind him, And he's a speed walker, and you have to wear sneakers.
Okay,
you're
good to
running
know.
up and down stairs. You're
Okay.
out of breath. It's wild. You're sweating. It's crazy.
immersive.
There was one point where I was walking right behind him, and I felt like I was like his Avenger. Like I was like, I got you, I got you. His character name was Conwell, and I was like, got you, Conwell.
Conwell.
Like I started like strutting behind him.
I'll
my
drink
God, we
to Conwell.
have to go.
We have to go.
Yeah, it's cool. You have a beverage before. It's this old bank, and it's like
fun.
The set is incredible. It's really cool. You wear a mask. It's kind of sexy.
Ooh.
It's cool.
I'm literally upset.
We're gonna
Yeah.
go. We're gonna.
We have to
Well, I
go.
have to go because he's been telling me to go, and he was like, "It's not Broadway. It's very sexy, scary." And I was like, "I'm down."
Oh,
I'm-
you would love it.
Yeah.
It's really cool and different, and yeah,
Well, let's
I'm
go.
locked
it's phenomenal.
in. Well, thank you truly so much for
I
coming.
just-
This
I
was
feel like we
amazing.
could talk for 5
I know
more hours.
we
I know.
can too. I adore you truly. It's just an honor to have gotten to work with you, to have you on my couch, to chat with you, and I just truly I can't thank you enough.
And we'll interview you on the red carpet of Smash.
Yes.
That'll be our
See you
next
on the red
encounter.
carpet.
We'll be like
Yes.
this.
There we go. See you on the red carpet of Smash. Let's get you there.
Yeah. Let's
Period.
do it.
You hear that?
Get
Yeah.
us there.
There's no reason you shouldn't be.
I know. I think
Thank
so.
you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks.
Thank
you
you.
heard it here first.
Well, amazing.
I love you both.
love
Thank you
you.
for
Love
having
you.
me.
So nice to
Thank
meet you.
you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.